Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at how to make sliding doors. So something you would see at maybe Walmart or a shop in general. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so first you want to get out your maker pen. So to get out your maker pen, you need to look at your watch, click backpack, and then once you see your maker pen, you can click use. It should spawn right in front of you. All you have to do is pick it up. Once you do that, look at the screen on top of your maker pen. Click create, open palette, and now you should, if you don't have a door already pre-made, you can either make one right now, or you can find one in the Inventions tab. If you want to find one in the Inventions tab, go to Inventions, get more, and look it up. And there you go. There's a bunch of doors. I already have a door pre-made, so I'm gonna get that one out. Okay, so you have your door, but you need 2 doors to make this work. So I'm just gonna go ahead There we go. Now you have your door set up. Now you need to set up all the chips and gadgets and gizmos. So first go to gadgets and go to other chips, press the arrow, and then add the state machine. And then add 2 states, 1, 2. Now that you have that, go to the wire tool on your maker pen. Wire from the state machine to any state, and from the state that you just wired to the state that hasn't been wired, and from the state that you just wired back to the other state. If you did it correctly, you should have created a loop, and the lights should be flickering from one another. Now that you have your state machine and state set up, you need to get your piston. To find the piston, go to Gizmos, and grab the piston right in there. Spawn in the piston. Go to Configure on your maker pen, configure it, and then click Move to Target. Now what you need to do is you need to move your piston up to the top of the door. Now that you have your piston at the top of the door, you can go ahead and clone it. I'm going to rotate it to where it's facing the opposite direction, and bam, now you have your 2 pistons set up. Once you do that, you need to set up your trigger volume. To set up your trigger volume, you need to go to Gadgets, Other Gadgets, and it will be right there. I'm going to put my trigger volume from here to here. There we go. You can put your trigger volume anywhere you want, it does not matter. Now that you have your trigger volume set up, what you need to do is you need to create a Boolean chip. To find the Boolean chip, you need to go to Math Chips and Gadgets, and it will be the first one that says AND on it. Once you spawn it in, go to Configure on your maker pen, click on it, then under Mode, it should say AND or NOT. Put OR as the mode. Now it should say OR on the chip. Now you need to select the wire tool on your maker pen. So from the trigger volume, do the green pin to the red pin that has a 0 by it on the Boolean chip. Now that you've done that, you need to look at the states. Whatever state is first connected to the state machine, and in the middle there should be 2 arrows. The arrow that is facing the state that is connected to the state machine, wire that to the green pin on the Boolean chip. Now that you have that, wire the other arrow to the green pin on the trigger volume. Now you need to wire the pistons to the state machine. To do that, you need to drag the red pin on the state machine to the red pin on the piston, the green pin on the state machine to the green pin on the piston, and so far and so forth. Okay, now it's time to configure the states. First, configure the state that is connected to the state machine. For that, value 1 should be 1, value 2 should be negative 25. Next, configure the state that is not connected to the state machine. Value 1 for that one should be 1, value 2 should be 25, and value 3 should be anything but 0. So I'm gonna put it at, let's say, 50. Now that you've done that, if you step inside the door, the pistons are moving, but not the door. What? What's happening? I'll tell you what. You have not wired the doors to the tan part of the pistons. To do that, all you have to do is select the wire tool on your maker pin, and then just from the tan part of the piston, drag it to the door, and do the same for the other piston. So now, let's say if I walk in now, look, the doors are moving. Once I step out, the doors will close. Next, if you want to make the doors spread out farther, increase value 3 of the state that is not connected to the state machine. So let's say I wanted it to go out really far. Let's say 800. I do that. I step in here. Let's see how far it'll go. Pretty far, I would assume. I'm gonna step out just so it doesn't, just so I don't have to wait that long. Now you might be wondering, how do I change the speed? It's really slow, right? First, configure the state that's not connected to the state machine. Change that to any speed you want. I'm gonna change it to 80. And see that makes it open quicker. But it also slows down. As it's closing, it's slow. Let's now configure the one that is connected to the state machine. On value 2 of the first state machine, change it to 80, or whatever you want. And then look, there you go. The speed has changed. Now you can implement these into any map you want. That's basically it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you do want to see more of this content, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you later.